Ladies and gentlemen, this is internet personality Vangelus here with my 20th review. And to start things off on what the Japanese might call the Hitachi, or age 20, cultural knowledge, of my video reviews, I figured I'd touch on a toy that I picked up quite a while ago that has a bit of a special place in my heart. As you can see, this is the Impact Model Series Lagann! Now, if you don't know what Lagann is, go find Gurren Lagann and watch it. I'm not an anime fanboy, by any stretch, and I have to say that I'd be very hard-pressed to find something I enjoyed more than this series that wasn't Gaogaigar. I'll gush about that in some other venue, but for now, as you can see, this thing comes in an enormous cube-shaped box, which cost a total of $5,000. And you can see a little bit through the top here, but these opening few pieces of merchandise that Konami did for Gurren Lagann during the first run of the show were all done in this really, like, Art Deco-y, solid black packaging, which I believe was only used for a couple toys. The only two of which that actually did things I have, which are the Impact Model Series. There was another Impact Model Series Gurren Lagann with the wings and all that got released, but it looked like his box was bright red and white and stuff, so what can you do? You can Velcro the front of this open and have a look inside, but, you know, I'd show you opening this up and how the packaging's laid out in there, but really, I didn't become a spiral warrior to do work by myself, so we'll just take this thing here and do this the good old-fashioned way. Core drill! Spin on! This is Impact Series Lagann. As you can see, he's a mini-type gunman, a giant head with limbs, and a really, really vibrant one at that. To gush for a moment, I really love how this thing looks like it just jumped off the screen. It's pretty poseable. It's got quite a few joints. It does any pose you'd want Lagann to do, down to even having little tiny knee joints on his stubby legs. It's a marvelous little figure, and the colors are just perfect. It astounds me how nice and vibrant the reds are off the blues, and the yellow eyes, and this little bit of panel shading on the mouth here. It's such a gorgeous figure. And he comes with this base, which pegs into his butt, and it's designed so that this display stand bit can clip into any pair of these. As you can see, there's some ridges there. So you can have it up here, 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 or here. It's a really nice little design. And the Lagann toy himself, or itself, although I refer to this as a he because of how unbelievably manly a robot this is, has a full interior on the cockpit, right down to the little spiral energy meter. And a teeny little core drill in there. And the foot pedals, the grips. These handles, by the way, slide around, just like on the show. Not quite to the same degree, so they don't move onto this axis and spin around and stuff. But it's really nice, all things considered. And this, of course, wouldn't be anything without its pilot. And you get a little Simon. He's fairly poseable from the waist up, which almost makes me wish they'd gone all the way through and made his legs do something, because he's almost a really perfect little figure in his own right. If someone was able to do like an alternate lower body form from the waist down, it'd be awesome. And he sits in here quite perfectly. It's hard to get him to get a perfect grip on these handles, though, so my original assessment of quite perfectly is admittedly a little flawed. But as you can see, he can kind of hang on to them. He's got the red cloth tied around his shoulder. He's got the goggles. You can't pull the goggles down, unfortunately, but you can have him look around and stuff, and he's got that first episode arc look on his face before he truly manned up, but I can deal with that. And before I go any farther, I also want to mention, this is made by Konami. And Konami, yes, Konami makes toys, in Japan at least. Konami also makes a little line called Buso Shinki. And since they're doing the Gurren Lagann merchandise, it was only natural that they would do something that cross-sells with this. But what I wasn't expecting was for them to do a perfectly scaled cross-sell. First you get it with this Yoko toy. You get a perfectly scaled little pig mold dude, Buddha, can stick in here with him on his shoulder or something like that. It'll fall right off, so I won't bother. And the Yoko figure is scaled perfectly for this thing to go as like a companion figure for the display or something like that. And you can recreate classic scenes from the first couple episodes of various cheesecake moments, because that's more or less all she did for the first little while. But you can, do this stuff like I'm dropping my sniper rifle, but like, aiming the sniper rifle over here. I don't know. I think it's really cool that they sized the MMS Yoko for the Impact series Lagann. It's a great decision on Konami's part. And also, you don't have to have all this stuff showing all the time, because they worked in the skull plate. You can clip this thing right over top with Simon inside, and you're all set to go for like a fight. And also, this guy comes with a few accessories. He comes with various hands, which pop in and out. Now, this is a little tough to get them in and out, because they're really sticky ball joints. And the ball, by the way, is on a hinge as well. So you can move the wrist up and down. So you get these open hands for poses like this, but more importantly, you get drills! So that those of you who've seen the series, you know that this was like the first hint of what was to come. Later on, down the line! I believe in me, who believes in you? These aren't the only drills you get. You also get a drill that you can plug into his forehead. The problem is, getting it into his forehead is a task. Now, the best way I've found to do this is to open this thing up, and then another feature, by the way, is you get an alternate face. I'll switch that on, actually, right now. And if you remove the face, then through here you can kind of push the forehead plate out using something. This is a point where the toy really does lose marks with me, is that it's so stupid hard to get this little part out. Unless I'm missing something really obvious here, and I probably am. The only way to really get it out is to pull out something and one second. I got it loose. All thanks to a pair of Revoltech Gurren shades, which will be featured in an upcoming review of, something. Anyway, once you finally get this blasted disc out of there, you can just plug this special drill right in place here. And then you can stick in, the angry face. Now, the faces stick in and out really easily, and I really love them. As well as, of course, this brain case piece. Attack Lagann when he's, angry and wants to drill stuff. Now, the posability, as I said, is excellent. Shoulder is full range. These shoulder pads can move up and down as you need them. Elbows, ball-jointed wrists, even with the drills. Fully posable legs with teeny little knees. Only problem is, he can barely stand up. So you do have to rely a lot on this stand. But once you get that going, it's really nicely done. Now, obviously, he doesn't transform into Gurren Lagann's head because, well, the arms and legs don't fold away, and that transformation is verging on physically impossible when you have a full cockpit built into this thing. Not to mention that there would be nothing for this to actually combine to, because that would involve having a Gurren robot that would be about yay tall. So, no go there. By the way, these two, if you want an idea of what Lagann here does, these two are kind of like soul brothers, him and the headmaster. Although this headmaster was not designed with him in mind. Derek Wyatt did mention that he kind of wished he had seen this design to work a few of its elements into this as well, but you can only have so much. It's a really wonderful toy. It's only got two major drawbacks. Number one, he's both rare and expensive, as far as I know. I had to pay about $50 for him. I usually saw him for $60 in Japan. And with the show's growing popularity, I can only imagine that prices are going up and not down. Especially since, as far as I know, they only did the one figure of this type. The other downside, as you saw in the review, is that this thing is blasted hard to get fitted in there, to the point where it's almost not worth the trouble trying to pop this stupid disc out. That could have been done much, much better. I wouldn't knock lots of points off of it, though, because technically it is just for a stupid forehead drill. And if you don't bother with the forehead drill, this toy does so much else really well. Like the colors, swapping the faces in and out, having a cockpit, and it's all solid, and it's just marred by that one badly designed thing with this forehead drill. I still would highly recommend this, unless you really are into the forehead drill. Then you're gonna hate this toy with the passion of fiery heart and a burning soul. Anyway, this has been a review by internet personality Vangelus. This has been a review of a spiral-powered robot, and I hope it was enlightening for you. He's powering up the drills! So I recommend him if you're into the show. If you're not into the show, you won't know what the hell to do with this toy. If you haven't seen the show Gurren Lagann, by the way, watch it. It breaks anime cliché several times in ways that I've really enjoyed. It surpasses the impossible and kicks reason to the curb! I believe in you, who believes in yourself.